Hey, what's up everyone? John the Geek here with a review on the Acer Predator Helios 300 laptop. Its normal price is $1,050, but I got it on sale back in September of 2017 for $900 plus tax. If we're lucky, it may go on sale for that price again during the holidays. So let's take a look at the specs. It's rocking a Core i7 7700HQ that is clocked at 2.8 GHz base. 16 gigs of DDR4 memory propagated by two 8 gig sticks. There is a 256 gig M.2 PCIe SSD and one open slot for a 2.5 inch SATA drive. The screen is 15.6 1080p IPS at 60 Hz. The GPU is a NVIDIA 1060 6 gig that's VR ready. Then of course there's 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. On the I/O side, there's a Kensington lock, gigabit Ethernet, USB Type-C connector that is Gen 1 5 gigabits per second and no Thunderbolt support, which was a deal breaker for me, but more on that later. Then there's an HDMI 2.0 and USB 3.1 port and an SD card slot. On the other side, there is a power jack, charging LED, power LED, two USB 2.0 ports, and a combo mic and headphone jack. On the back side, there is a ventilation port on only half of the laptop. Not sure why they didn't just open up the other half, but you know, whatever. The bottom has good placement of rubber feet, and the access panels to the 2.5 inch SATA drive and RAM is easy to get into with just one screw. The top keyboard panel is brushed aluminum with chiclet style keycaps, and the trackpad is a large 4.2 by 3 inches. It felt good, easy to slide my finger across, and the click wasn't at all loud. WASD has a red outline and red lettering. This is something you cannot change either. The number pad is adequate, but I don't really use it on a laptop. The Enter and Shift key are smaller, and that messes me up when I type, so your results may vary. And of course, the red LED backlighting is what's going to tell everyone that you're a hardcore gamer at the coffee shop. There is a 720p webcam and some mics at the top of the display. Okay, let's talk benchmarks. All of these settings are at 1080p resolution. Overwatch was hitting an average of 100 frames per second on epic settings. Doom was at an average of 95 frames per second on high settings. PUBG was at 58 frames per second on Ultra. Then Metro Last Light Redux was at 88 frames per second average. Gaming benchmarks are not my forte, so I will work on getting you more relevant gaming titles in the future. This is one that is specific to video editors out there. The idea here, guys, is that I want to make this same video clip available for you to download. I took a clip and cut it at the 18-second mark. Then I applied the warp stabilizer effect and timed how long it takes. Warp stabilizer uses the CPU to analyze the frame and then the GPU to stabilize it. The time was 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Next, there was an export of the same 1-minute clip and it took 2 minutes. If you have Adobe Premiere CC, you can apply the same test and see what times you're getting. That way you can judge how much better or worse this laptop does for editing when compared to your own setup. This 7700HQ does a great job at rendering frames. In fact, it's one of the most powerful mobile CPUs that's out on the market for 2017. There is only one other model up from Intel, and that is the 7820HK. So yeah, this is the same CPU that you will find in laptops that cost 2 times more than this one, such as the Razer Blade Pro, for example. Now about that deal breaker. I have a 1440p G-Sync monitor that I want to game on with this laptop. But like I said earlier, the USB Type-C port does not support Thunderbolt. Therefore, it does not support display output at all. When I connected the HDMI port on the laptop to the HDMI port on the monitor, it only displayed up to 60 Hz. The same went from an HDMI to DisplayPort cable and no G-Sync for any of the connection. Now, if you wanted to game at 60 Hz in 1080p or 1440p on a bigger monitor, sure, knock yourself out. But I really only play Overwatch and this GPU can easily pump out more than 60 frames per second with G-Sync at 1440p. So I sent it back in search of a sub $1,000 laptop that can give me Overwatch at 144 Hz with G-Sync and 1440p. So stay tuned for the next review. And as always guys, thanks for watching and subscribe for more.